After coming back from a trip with her friends, my wife demanded a divorce. I agreed, and she became secretive with her phone and visited the same place twice. Now she says she doesn't want a divorce anymore, asking me not to break the family apart. But now I don't trust her anymore. So, a few weeks ago, my wife of 8 years went on a 2-week trip to the Outer Banks in North Carolina with her friends. It was something she'd been planning for a while, a nice, relaxing getaway by the beach. I stayed home with our son, he's 6, and took care of things while she was gone. No big deal. We've always had a good relationship. Anyway, she comes back from the trip and tells me she's unhappy and wants a divorce. Just like that. I remember sitting on the couch, completely blindsided. There was no big fight or obvious issues between us before she left. I asked her if something had happened, but she just said she's been feeling this way for a while, that the trip made her realize she wanted something different in life. She didn't seem emotional or anything, just detached. It was weird, but I tried to stay calm. I told her that if that's what she really wanted, I wouldn't stand in her way. We have a kid together, so obviously, I was worried about what would happen with him. But here's where it got even stranger. She told me I could have full custody of our son. She said she didn't want to disrupt his life and thought he'd be better off with me. That was a huge shock to me. But at the same time, it made things easier for me, so I agreed. We started discussing how to divide everything, finances, the house, all that. She didn't put up any resistance, just went along with it. The whole time, she was super secretive about her phone. She'd never been like that before. Whenever she'd get a text or a call, she'd step out of the room or turn her phone over so I couldn't see it. I didn't pry, but something definitely felt off. Over the next month, she went back to the Outer Banks twice. Both times for about 5 days, supposedly by herself. She said she needed time to think. During her whole trip, she barely contacted me, and what hurt most was that she didn't call our son at all while she was away. No goodnight calls, no how's school, nothing. It felt like she was already moving on and disconnecting from us. Fast forward to a few days ago. She's packing up her stuff to move out, and out of nowhere, she tells me she doesn't want the divorce anymore. She said she realized she couldn't live without her family and that breaking up would be a huge mistake. She's suddenly emotional, crying, and saying she wants to make things work between us. Now, I don't know what to think. I told her I'm not sure I want to stay together anymore. After everything, her leaving, giving up custody of our son so easily, going back to that place twice, and being so secretive, there are too many red flags. I don't trust her the way I used to. She keeps begging me to reconsider, saying she wasn't thinking clearly before, but I feel like the damage is done. I feel like she was planning to live with someone and now that it didn't work out, she's coming back to me as a fallback option. So, am I wrong for wanting to go through with the divorce? Update. Hey everyone, I just wanted to thank you all for your comments and support. It really helped me to see that I wasn't crazy for feeling like something was off. So here's what happened since my last post. I decided to confront my wife after going through everything in my head, the trips, the secrecy, the sudden change of heart. I sat her down and told her that I knew something wasn't right. I laid it all out, the 2 trips back to the Outer Banks, her odd behavior with her phone, and how quickly she was willing to give up custody of our son. I told her that if she wanted to stay married, she needed to tell me the truth. I even convinced her that if she came clean, not just to me but to her parents as well, I would consider giving her a second chance. At first, she stuck to her story and told me I was being paranoid, but eventually, she broke down and admitted everything. Turns out, during that first trip, she met an older guy, he's divorced, in his late 40s, and they started seeing each other while she was down there. They stayed in touch after she got back, which is why she went back twice the following month. She didn't go alone, she was with him the entire time. She told me she had actually texted her mother while she was still in the Outer Banks the first time, telling her she'd met someone and wasn't sure about our marriage anymore. In her words, she was confused and thought this guy was an escape from her unhappiness here. Her mom had apparently tried to talk her out of it, but she didn't listen. She admitted that now, after all this, she realized what a mistake it was. She said she was sorry and that she wouldn't do it again. Then I told her we were still getting a divorce. She was completely caught off guard and said, "But you promised you'd give me a second chance if I told you the truth. I trusted you." And I told her, well, that makes us even, because I trusted you too. That set her off. She started calling me names, saying I was breaking our family apart and that I was the one being unreasonable after she came clean. But the thing is, I don't care anymore. The trust is broken, and I'm not going to stay with someone who only decided to come back to me because the fantasy with her escape didn't pan out. She moved out this morning and is staying with her parents now. I'm not going to contact her unless it's through my lawyer. Originally, I was willing to be fair in the divorce, split everything 50-50, but after everything that's come to light, I'm going to fight for what's mine. I'll be seeking full custody of our son, the house, and my fair share of everything. I'm done being the one who gets hurt while she plays with our lives. Thanks again for all the advice and support, everyone. I'm ready to move forward and focus on what really matters, my son and my future.